This is a video about a renovation of a house. Hopefully it'll become part of a series. Yeah, you can see I'm starting in the downstairs bathroom with what is a shower, but it's a shower with sides. You'll get a better view of it just now. The issue that I was having here was that the shower didn't work at all, and there's no water coming through when you open up the water at all. So nothing seemed to work, and I thought maybe some of the plumbing was damaged further up and not allowing any water to come in. So I'm basically just taking things apart, messing around. You can see I took the tap apart there, took it off just to inspect and see if it actually turned properly. I took the handle off, so that handle lets you choose whether it goes to the outlet at the bottom, the shower, and then there's also a little sprayer that is reminiscent of a bidet. This is pretty much a lot of this will be just me tinkering with stuff, trying to figure out why, for instance, that handle doesn't turn. It was jammed completely tight. It wouldn't turn. I didn't want to put too much force on it in case it broke something, because I don't know what the inside of the tap looks like. So this is just me again fiddling around, trying to see, try to figure out how this thing actually goes together, because I never ever worked on something like this before. Eventually I did get to the monkey wrench. I didn't want to because of the chrome. I didn't want to scratch that. But luckily that does get covered by the handle, which I've already taken off. So that little cover I figured out eventually, it just pushes on. Yeah, you can see me prying it off slowly, trying not to damage it. These things are usually made of kind of thin metal. So if you put too much force in one direction, it ends up taking it out of shape, and you can't really ever get it bent back into that shape. So I'm trying to figure out if I need to screw it off here or just keep working it off. The house stood empty for a number of years, so there's a lot of grime and build-up on pretty much everything. Here I've located a little screw, and I figured that's maybe why I couldn't turn it before. So it's maybe not the best view of this, but like I said, you will get a different view of it just now, where you can actually see what the shower looks like, or at least the base, because it's not an ordinary base. You actually can sit on the sides. It's like a mini bathtub with a shower head and bidet, and then the inlet as well, all rolled into one. Apparently these are quite popular back in the 60s. There you can see I managed to get it loose. So I think this was installed, and then they did the tiling afterwards, or they retiled, because it took a little while to get that thing unscrewed. Showing you the inside of it, it's just a straightforward cover. But it does actually keep the inside part on. So the tighter you turn that, the more friction there is. So you can see again, I'm just trying to, and I managed to get it to turn. And it comes out. So the taper is what actually creates the seal. And then you can see it's filled with gunk and stuff that's just been building up over the years. Yeah, you get a better view. So you'd actually sit on the sides at this point. You can see I gave that a bit of a scrub and a clean. That was about as clean as I can get it without getting too aggressive. Putting it in, just seeing how it works, and then putting the cover back on. So you'd sit in this, put your feet in, and then you could wash yourself without actually, sitting inside a bathtub or taking a shower or so on. So apparently these were quite popular in the 60s. I haven't seen one until we actually moved to Portugal. And this was the first time I think I actually saw one. So I had no idea how it should work. But I go through this figuring it all out. So the handle turns and now water comes out. This is quite a momentous occasion for me to see that things work. So I get two of the functions here work. The normal outlet that you would have for a bath and the shower head works. But unfortunately the part that's out of frame now isn't working. And that's the part that sprays water up, so I guess you can wash. There you go. Woke up and moved the camera so you could actually get a better view. So that should be spraying water out as well, but as things turn out, it's not. So this was again just going through a whole bunch of little steps trying to figure out What could be wrong, I mean, the pipes could be galvanized or steel, and it could have rusted and blocked up. So I didn't really know, so I just kept going and trying little bits, little things here and there, keep trying different things to see if I can figure out why this thing isn't working properly. Eventually I got in there with a torch, try and figure out how things work. So I don't know if you noticed before when I showed the inner part, there's basically it has 3 holes, and there I bumped the camera. It has 3 holes. One to let the water in, which is right at the point, and then 2 other ones, which end up as your toggle to actually determine where the water is. There's my son having a look as well. So inside there where we were just inspecting, there's 3 holes, and depending on where it's turned, the water gets to go through one of the 2 holes in the tapered centerpiece. Yeah, I'm just trying to unscrew this again. I'm trying to avoid actually using any kind of monkey wrench unless I absolutely have to, and I really didn't have much of a choice. Fortunately, that wasn't on too tight, so I didn't cause any damage to the knurled bits on that cover. Yeah, again, just tightening things up because I had everything loose, just making sure it's not going to pour water out of the wrong places. And there we go, we have water. So there isn't anything wrong with the plumbing. It's just the holes in this thing are blocked up. The flash doesn't really help as much as I thought it would. But that just got covered up with scale. I moved on to the kitchen. As I was letting that soak, I'm busy taking this cupboard off basically just to avoid bumping my head because I knew I was going to definitely hit my head on the edge of that cupboard if I carried on. So this is the old wood-fired heater, water heater that was probably with the house when they remodeled it in, I think, the 70s or something. We just wanted to move it out the kitchen, so we're basically remodeling to either rent out the house or sell it. And this was in the way. So this video, you don't really get to see much except for my back as I'm trying to figure out and get the plumbing loose, and the stuff has been there for decades. So it's a lot of it has been rusted solid, and I do manage to get the stuff loose eventually. But there's a little bit of battle with the things as I try and get the stuff loosened. So I'd started moving it, and that's why you see that plastic water bottle there, because I realized it actually still had water in it, and it started dripping out between the joint. Luckily I hadn't managed to move it too much, I'd just broken the seal so it was dripping. And there you can see I've got a jug and a tub, and I was using the drain of the water heater to just drain out the water, but that's, I don't know, maybe 100 or 150 liters, and that's a little 1 liter jug, so it was going to take quite a bit fair amount of time. There I got my son again helping me just empty out so that we can find a little process to get that going and hopefully get it done as soon as possible. We got tired of that, went looking around the house, scrounging for whatever we could find. This is just the hose that goes above the gas geyser, which is in the bathroom. You didn't get to see. It was actually his idea to grab that instead so that we could just keep it there. And then we had 2 buckets that we just alternated between to be able to take out water without having to keep closing the drain. So that made it go a lot quicker. I've cut out a lot of that, but it was a lot of back and forth, just going over and over and over, doing the same sort of stuff. Yeah, we're busy tipping it out, and that's where the camera ran out of space and the video stopped. Here is another room, still same house, upstairs, one of the bedrooms. The window frame here has completely been, not completely, but the bottom part had been eaten up by termites and rotted. So I'd already removed that, and the lower window, so it's a sliding window that slides up and down. I'd removed the bottom one and the side, and here I was just trying to get the little wood trimming that keeps the top window in situ. I wanted to get that out. So you could take the top window out and see how much damage the side of the window frame had gotten to. So I can't easily access that to be able to see the damage. And there you go. Managed to get it out, put it on the floor. So here I'm just taking a quick inspection, looking around. So there are shutters on the outside that I want to remove so they can actually cut out the piece of rotten wood that's on the side. There you can see there's quite a heavy termite damage. I mean, I can just scrape that away. And that's the end of the video. End of day one. I still have a lot to do and hope to have another video up soon. Thanks for watching.